official grocer of Baylor Athletics. Proudly serving Texans since 1905. TFNB, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier ER and urgent care. Feel better now. Nissan, innovation for excitement. Here's your host, the voice of the Baylor Bears, John Morris.
And hi, everyone, and welcome to our Baylor Coaches Show tonight, live from Rudy's. We're glad you're with us. We got a great crowd here at Rudy's. Some maybe doing the double with women's basketball coming up at 7:30 at Foster Pavilion. But we're glad you're with us, and we got a great show ahead. In the next hour, we'll hear from Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, and then Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. So that's our program for tonight, and we'll get started with Coach Glenn Moore coming up right after this.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need, bro.
Everything's working so far.
Right sides and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll beat all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Are you ready to elevate your Waco experience to a whole new level? Look no further than the Baylor Club, where you can indulge in one-of-a-kind luxury and unwind in our exclusive lounge area. Located in the heart of McLean Stadium, this elite club offers a 5-star member atmosphere for all your work and play needs. With a master culinary team and outstanding hospitality, we take pampering to a whole new level. For interest in membership or to schedule your next private event, call 254-710-8080.
A new era of Baylor basketball is here. Join us for the historic first season at the brand new Paul and Alejandra Foster Pavilion and secure your tickets to Baylor women's basketball today. The wait is over and the Foster Pavilion is ready to welcome in the Baylor family for an exciting conference season. Tickets start as low as $15 and are in high demand. Don't miss your chance to experience Big 12 basketball on the Brazos. Lock in your seat today at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
For a limited time, get high-performance, ultra-reliable internet from Astound Broadband, starting as low as $25 per month. And now we have mobile, too. Visit astound.com to order the #1 rated internet. Create the perfect plan with fast speeds to meet all your needs, plus get a 2-year price lock when you upgrade to award-winning gig internet. No contracts, no hidden monthly fees, and no data caps. Switch today. Head to astound.com or call 1-800-4ASTOUND. Restrictions apply. See website for details.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And welcome back live from Rudy's, our Baylor Coaches Show tonight. We appreciate everyone that is here. And please join me in welcoming our first guest tonight, Baylor softball coach Glenn Moore. Welcome to Coach Moore.
Thank you, John.
How
Always
are
good
you?
to be on your show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. It's no show without you, so thanks for being here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are, let's see, today is February 1st when the calendar flips to February. In your mind, what goes through your mind knowing that the season opener is now 8 days away?
Well, my wife's birthday, of course, is in February, so that's what I
First
think
thing,
about
way to go. Janice, stand up. Happy birthday. We might even sing to you tonight. Happy birthday. Way to go.
Well,
Glenn.
it's not, it's in 2 weeks, but she starts celebrating 2 weeks prior and then 2 weeks after.
It's the entire month of
It is,
February.
yep.
I like it. Very good. Anything else? You got anything else going on in February?
Let's see. The weather is pretty nice right now,
it
so
is.
it must not be softball season, but coming up shortly it will be.
Give it a week.
Yep.
Yeah, look at the forecast next week. You do open 8 days from today. Big series, home series, 3-game series against Tennessee. That is diving in to the start of the season for you.
Yeah, again, I don't know who the idiot was that scheduled this schedule for the month of February, but I think it's going to be the most difficult strength of schedule that we've ever had here. It's going to be this very challenging schedule, starting with the number 2 team in the country in one poll, so that's the highest they're ranked, and
Wow.
I think they're from 5 to 2 in all of the polls. So great opportunity to see where you are right away.
Yeah, you went to Knoxville last year, had rain issues up there, but won a couple of games, didn't you, over Tennessee?
Yeah, we did. They're a very good team, and they finished in the World Series, and they only lost 2 of their starters. We only lost 1 starter, and Josie Bauer. So very similar teams from a year ago, and we were able to go up there and play pretty well in bad conditions. So I'm not sure we got a good indication of what the 2 teams were like under that situation. But I know they're very good, and we know we have a chance to be pretty good. It's early. We're not going to put too much on this game, but I tell you, the girls are excited and ready to get out there and show each other what we have.
Man, that's great. You do not shy away from a tough schedule. I mean, it's not just Tennessee. You've got another tough schedule like that tournament out in Palm Springs, California.
Yeah, we actually go down to Lafayette and play McNeese State on our way as a super regional team last year, and then we play Louisiana for a 3-game series the second week. So then we go out to Palm Springs where we'll play UCLA and Oregon and Missouri and I think Cal. We've got the month of February is an RPI booster for sure. And, you know, you can play very well in the month of February and not have a great record. So you got to keep it in perspective. We expect to win. We're going to play to win. But you got to keep things in perspective because I doubt there's a stronger strength of schedule in the month of February anyway in this country than what we're going to be challenged with.
Wow, way to go. All right, so you mentioned Tennessee, number 2, or as high as number 2 in the polls. Your team, very highly thought of, number 11 in the Softball America poll, number 16 by D1 Softball, 19 by ESPN USA Softball, and 22 by USA Today NFCA. So in the top 25 in all 4 of those polls preseason.
Yeah, and it's just a sign of respect. We all know that preseason polls are really for publicity, and you know, you usually announce them when you're in the top 25, and they don't mean anything when you're out. So we'll talk about the number 11 mostly, I guess. But no, this team is capable of being there, but we're not there yet. We don't even know what the rest of the softball world has right now with the portal and transfers. Teams look a lot different from one year to the next, and a lot of the top 25 is based off of what you did last year. So we had a pretty good year last year, and I think we were earned that respect. Have some players back that were injured at the end of the year, so you know, the expectations are a little higher this year, but you know, it's, as they say, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so you've got to take it little by little, and you just want to get better every week. You can start off like gangbusters and finish poorly, and what have you done? So we want to start off strong, but we want to get better every week.
Yeah. How about you mentioned you had some injuries, especially late in the year, kind of hamstrung you a little bit with your roster. How about the rehab, the surgery, and the rehab of some of those girls?
Yeah, well, I think injuries happen to everybody, so I'm not saying that's why we finished the way we did. We had a great ending of regular season, and then when we went into postseason, we didn't perform as well as we had hoped and thought we might have. But we lost our big injury early on was losing Aaliyah Benford in the 3rd weekend of the season. We're rolling pretty good then. And then you got a great closer, one of the best in the country, and you lose her on an ACL tear playing third base. She's been released to come back. Whether she's 100% or not will be determined by how she pitches, and I don't even expect any of them to be 100% back right now, or well right now. But another big one that played injured was All-American first baseman, and Shaylin Govin, and she played through her labrum tear and had surgery at the end of the season, and now she's back. Big power hitter that if you watch this play, you know that name very well, and she's capable of putting a lot of fear in pitchers' eyes no matter who they are. She can hit. Daria Orm pitched for us. We overpitched her last year because we had to get where we wanted to go. Had we had Aaliyah Benford, we'd have saved, you know, a ton of pitches on that arm, and she'd probably made it through postseason. And I think we'd had a good shot at the Utah Regional out there in Salt Lake City. But not having her, we had used our freshman, sophomore, and Casey West and Riley Crandall, who had pitched very well. Both had wins against Texas the last weekend of the season, and you know, Riley had one of the wins against Tennessee last year as a freshman. So they grew up and will benefit this year from that experience, but it really would benefit us to have that whole bullpen available for us.
When you look back on it, Shaylin at first base, to play through that injury, first base, and you're reaching and you're stretching, and sometimes you have to reach up, and she's got a torn labrum, right? Isn't it amazing that she played as well as she did?
It really is. Says a lot for her and her. It's tough to play through injury. Everybody wants to be 100% when you play, and many people opt out with a hangnail, and she's playing with a torn labrum, which is pretty. Says a lot for her and her desire to play the game. She was probably never 100%. And still one of the most feared hitters in the Big 12.
Yeah, very good. All right, we're off and running on the Baylor Coaches Show tonight with Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. And we welcome your questions from the audience as well. Grant has some question cards. If you have one you would like to pass along to Coach Moore, raise a hand. We'll get the card to you, and then we'll get those in front of Coach Moore coming up. Stay with us. It's the Baylor Coaches Show. We are live at Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue. And we'll be right back after this.
Baylor alumni are more than 160,000 strong. When we all join hands to support our university, we don't just move the needle. We move mountains. Working together, we create life-changing opportunities for students on the field, in the classroom.
Thank you, John.
So get connected.
Yeah.
So we're hearing
Get
Bob
involved.
talking
Learn
connected
how
from
at
the Foster.
Baylor.edu
Oh.
alumni.
If can you turn that
Premier
down?
ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience
Or I
of
can
urgent
text
care
him.
with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be
As long
seen
as
by
you don't
ER
start
trained
singing.
staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.
All right, John, is it okay now?
Nope, we're hearing him.
Okay.
Yep.
Baylor Athletics.
I'll text him just to turn everything down on his end.
Okay, well, I can tell him.
For our Edge
Okay,
checking and
yep, that'd be
savings
great.
accounts to earn interest or cash back with 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cup Club, presented by Green Eye Associates, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today and sick 'em Bears.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And welcome back live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco, our Baylor Coaches Show this evening. We're on our flagship station in Waco, streaming at BaylorBears.com and on the Baylor Athletics Facebook and YouTube pages. You can watch the Baylor Coaches Show from here. So we're glad you're tuned in however you are. Thanks to our hosts here at Rudy's. Rudy's a proud sponsor of Baylor softball and Baylor men's tennis and Baylor athletics in general. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget, Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. You know that, don't you?
I do.
I do
They're very
too.
good.
Yes, they are. So thanks to our hosts at Rudy's. We appreciate all of you very much. Thank you very much. All right, we've got some questions for Coach Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. This is our First Place Foods Ask the Coach. First Place Foods, that's a darn good pickle. And the first one was a topic I was going to ask you about and let you talk about. The passing of Gordon Neal recently. Your Booster Club president, such a supporter, he and Cindy. Just really sad news to hear of the passing of Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon's been fighting for a couple of years along with Cindy beside him, and I just really appreciate this question because he means so much to this whole community, John. As you well know, not just softball. He's the president of our women's basketball tip-off club for a while, and then he's been the president of our softball diamond club, helping raise money and enhance the experience of our student athletes for the last 10 years, I think since 2014 or somewhere around that time. So just an incredible gentleman. He He was JC's gymnastics coach when she was
Really?
6 years old, about
Wow.
5 or 6 years old. So we've known him for a long time. It's like we lost a family member as well, and our prayers were with Cindy too. So very grateful.
Well, he and Cindy just such big parts of this community. You mentioned softball, but basketball, women's basketball. Cindy Neal was the first female to compete in Tri-Waco, going way back. So, and that goes back to I think the 80s. So, just a tremendous family, and really sorry for Gordon's passing. All right, thanks for that. We appreciate it. All right, Ken has a question for you. What has been the surprise player or players early on?
Okay, that's a good one because most of our kids are returning, and we really think we have a good bit of talent on this team. But one that's really stepped it up, I think, is Leah Cran. We expected her to probably need a year to really get comfortable at this level, and we've thrown her into positions she's never played before, and she's just, no big eyes. She goes out there and handles it really well. So, she's going to get some playing time early on. Whether she'll get in the starting lineup right away, I don't know, but I would have to. That's the one that comes to mind right away. But no disappointments. Lexi Warnke is a pitcher that we expect big things out of eventually, but our bullpen has everybody returning to it, so that's a good thing for a new pitcher that's able to come in and be selective in when you use her and how much you use her, and hopefully we'll be able to stay healthy enough to where we won't have to throw her in the fire too quickly, and we can kind of groom her the way we want to. We had to throw Crandall in a little earlier than we wanted to last year, and of course it's a sink or swim situation when you play the schedules we play, and she swam pretty good, so you never know how it's going to work out. But those are two that I think are going to do really well for us down the road.
Where do you think Leah might end up position-wise?
Well, I think she's great backup middle infield, but we have two of the best middle infielders that we've ever had here, and Amber Tobin and Presley Pylon. Kind of a cool story there is they played together in travel ball in high school, and on one of the top travel ball organizations out in California on the West Coast, and then they both went their separate ways, one to LSU and one to Arizona, and then they both transferred in here and play together. So they got a chemistry that's unlike you can get typically in college, so they're very good. So she's able to train under some of the best middle infielders there and be a solid backup for us. But third base is the position we threw her into that she hasn't played much, and she's really handling that very well. Unfortunately for her, or I guess unfortunately, is we have probably a little more depth there than we've had at third base, and we're trying to let the cream rise to the top, and it might come down to just whoever performs best offensively because we've got some pretty good corner players.
Yeah, you've had such a great history of third basemen. I mean, some really, really good ones through the years.
Yeah, we have. You can go back to Brett Reagan, Megan Turk, Sarah Smith. We've had some outstanding third basemen play there, probably missing one or two because I've been here a while, but yeah, that's a hot corner. Out of all the positions I played when I was playing, that was the one that just freaked me out the most because the ball comes off the bat, and you've got to respect the bunt in the short game because if you don't, you're going to get beat there in our sport. So it really is a dangerous place to play, and you've got to play with kind of a reckless, abandoned attitude and not dwell about the mistakes too long.
Yeah. So you're saying you couldn't name all your third basemen in 24 years coaching here?
I don't. I think I might could if you gave me 24 hours.
I know, exactly. That's not fair. Here's another question. This is from Mary, and Mary says, we talked about this a little bit, but she says, is your team healthy?
So, yeah, Mary's been around this program a long time, and she knows that's kind of a loaded question. But I wouldn't say that we're totally healthy, not that any team would be right now because any team is ever for that matter. But I think we're all going in the right direction. The ones that are injured are on schedule to be back, maybe not full speed in the first weekend, but they're going in the right direction. And we just have to manage those injuries well enough to where we don't overdo it in the first weekend or two, trying to win every game we play. Sometimes you've got to risk losing the game, maybe not being the best you can be so that we can not load up a pitcher with too many pitches or keep a kid in too long on a cold night. So we just got to use good judgment and give them a little more time to heal up so that they'll be ready, mainly be ready for Big 12 play.
Very good. Here's another question from Grant. First Place Foods Ask the Coach. Grant says, are you excited for the merging Big 12? What struggles do you face because of the new Big 12 in softball?
Yeah. I am excited. Obviously we're losing two teams that have made a big difference in our strength, our power rating, RPI with the two teams that are leaving, but we are bringing in BYU, a traditional power. We're bringing in Central Florida that's in a hotbed of talent who's done really well the last few years and certainly a big market over there that also allows a footprint for recruiting in that area, the southeast corner of the country. Houston is in the biggest southern pocket of talent, so when you attach Big 12 to their name, I think they're going to be very, very powerful down the road. Now, moving ahead a year, whenever you bring in the three, Utah and Arizona State both have about 15 national championships between the two of them. Most of them coming from Arizona, as you may know, traditionally powerful programs. And ironically, the better program performing right now out of those three is Utah. So three big powers right there, softball powers. I think this conference is going to have more parity than any conference in the country. And we were the highest RPI conference even last year. So a lot of people don't realize that, but we were the strongest conference in the country RPI-wise last year. So we're going to lose a couple, but the ones we're gaining are going to make us a very strong conference.
Are you going to miss Oklahoma?
Well, I've been asked that a whole lot, and there's a positive and negative. I think it gives other teams a chance to have a shot at that championship because they've kind of dominated it for the last 10, 12 years. But you're also protected from conference teams in the first round of the NCAA. So never been afraid to play anybody. As you well know, we play them outside. The last 2 years we've played them outside of conference and then 3 times in conference. So we're not afraid of playing anybody. But I did like the fact that I didn't have to go through Norman to get to Oklahoma City, at least in the first round anyway. And we've never been matched up in the super regional with them. So there's good and bad. Yeah. I think the parity that we're going to have for a conference championship is a positive. What that brings to our conference from a strength of conference standpoint, we're going to miss.
All right, here's the final question we have for you. I don't know who it's from. I think it may be that part of the room back there. But they say, we've heard you like listening to music around your house. What's your favorite morning song?
Well, I do wear out Alexa, and whatever's on my mind, I'll get her to play. I think I sound pretty good. Now, a lot of people agree with me in that, but I don't have a favorite. In fact, I don't even have a favorite genre. I just like music. So I think you played it. The Bon Jovi stuff was pretty good for me for a while. So whatever, I go through different times where I like different kinds of music. I like, I used to say I like the only two kinds of musics that was good, and that was country and Western. But I've broadened my scope a little bit to where I listen to a whole lot of praise and worship music. And a lot of everything. So there's only a few kind of genres that I don't like. So I'm not going to sing any for you, John, right now.
All right.
I'm going to spare because I know they're eating out there. Don't want to upset their stomachs.
We'll save that for another time. Get you singing. Very good. All right, great questions. Thank you all very much. We'll be back with Glenn Moore right after this. We're live at Rudy's on the Baylor Coaches Show.
Where did that come from? It looks like my wife's writing.
That's what I said back in there. Hey, Van.
On your path, you're your own boss and set your own hours.
Van.
Look at that sun.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Find yourself in some.
We
Okay.
are getting reverb in our ears.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill this other. Hold on a second. Something.
Okay.
Hey, get a picture. No one's going to believe this.
And each day ends binge watching.
No, it's not.
And dreaming about all the things you'll do the next day.
You know what? I'm catching a bigger fish tomorrow.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra.
What I did, John, if you can still hear me, right?
Today is a proud partner.
What I did was I moved it to this pot that Bob was on.
Yeah.
And I have now successfully swapped them to where that Bob is on the other one. Let me see if I can talk to him and see if you hear the conversation real quick.
Storytelling podcast produced by Sport and Story, the content team behind Baylor Plus.
Hopefully people feel that I was approachable, but also that I knew the game.
hosted by me.
Can you hear that, John?
Yes, podcast featured
Okay, never mind.
interviews with current and former student athletes and coaches.
As a coach, why you coaches to see other people happy and successful.
Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. Come on. Sick 'em Bears
Okay, back.
TV.
Are you ready to elevate your Waco experience to a whole new level? Look no further than the club where you can indulge in one-of-a-kind luxury and exclusive lounge area. Located in the heart of McLean Stadium, this elite club offers a 5-star member atmosphere for all your work and play needs. With a master culinary team and outstanding hospitality, we take pampering
Different Harper from the one I know.
or to schedule your next private event, call 254-710-8080.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco, our Baylor Coaches Show on this Thursday evening. We appreciate everyone that is with us. We're brought to you in part by TFNB, your bank for life, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texans are making TFNB their bank for life by stopping by any one of their 5 locations or visiting TFNBTX.com and Sick 'em Bears. One final segment with Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. All right, let's do a survey of the room here at Rudy's. How many of you are here for a while and then maybe going to Foster Pavilion for the basketball game this evening? All right. Yep. Good. That's good. All right. Big game there. Good luck to the Baylor women hosting Texas. Final regular season matchup between Baylor and Texas in basketball, which brings to mind last year, your series against UT. It was a sweep for the Bears, if I remember right.
Yeah, I told the team we weren't going to talk about that anymore, but since you brought it up,
sorry.
I told them it's history, and we've used it and milked it, along with a few other victories last year, but I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll talk about it, since you're going to twist my arm. You know I hate talking about that one. So.
Exactly.
No, it really was a great series for us because Texas is really a good team and, very strong, and we're playing great at the time, and we didn't have our top 2 pitchers, if you remember. So I thought it said a lot, which may have worked into our advantage. They probably prepared for Dari. Nobody knew she was out at the time, and probably prepared for her a little bit. But, we got a couple of wins on the road down there at their place, and then came back here and were able to finish it up and get that sweep on Sunday. Actually, I think we played 2 here, 1 there, but if I remember correctly.
I think it's right. 2 here, yeah.
2 here.
And one was a run rule victory, like when the largest margin of victory you've ever beaten Texas by.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All
Katie,
right.
is that right? Largest margin of victory? Baylor over Texas?
That was a year before.
Oh, that was the year before. Okay.
I don't want to bring that up.
That,
I don't
that
wanna
was
talk
another
about
win over Texas. There have been so many. I'm sorry. All right. And your season begins the series against Tennessee, February 9th, 10th, and 11th here in Waco. Have you looked ahead at the weather for next weekend?
We have. We look at it all the time, a couple times a day. So
the resident meteorologist is Hoot Jonigan, right?
That is. Yes, it is.
And you think we'll be okay?
Trying to find something he's good at. So, yeah. Well, the forecast has the temperature's good, and then the rain percentage needs to help us out a little bit more. But
gotcha.
It's not terrible. It's looking at about 40-50% chance of rain on Friday. So
hey, it's
this
February.
time of year, you'll take that.
That's right. It's February. It's Janice's birthday month. Well, good luck getting the season started. We're excited about that, and just good luck, and we appreciate you being here. I know you'll be back in the spring a couple of more times with us, but thanks for being here tonight, and good luck in the opener next weekend.
Thank you. It's always good to be here, John. I just want to encourage our fans. If we've ever begged for you to fill the stadium up, and it is filling up. We need it this first weekend. We can get off to a great start. We're bringing in one of the top teams in the nation to Getterman Stadium, so we need you guys out there to support us.
Very good. Thanks very much. Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. Appreciate Glenn leading us off tonight on the Baylor Coaches Show. We'll take a break. When we come back, switch gears. Michael Woodson will join us, head coach for Baylor men's tennis. Great representation from men's tennis here at Rudy's. We'll take that break and be back talking Baylor men's tennis right after this.
Baylor
Was the reverb still there?
For Baylor basketball fans all season long.
I don't sleep on game days because I'm too excited.
Go behind closed doors and experience Baylor basketball like never before.
I came to coach in top 5 matchups.
We're going to turn the tide on them. Do we got that?
Start your free 7-day trial at BaylorPlus.com and gain instant access to the full library of content.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the...
Are you still getting the reverb, John?
No.
And we are in network with most major insurance providers.
Well, what we were doing was I was afraid was going to have problems, and I asked Aaron, and he said it should work, but we had problems. So...
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group.
No, we didn't have any problems over the air, except that I forgot to turn you on for the first second, but I turned you on right at the right time.
Okay.
So it worked out.
Better than flowers. In a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll beat all the cousins at a family function. Better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call an order at Rudy's Group Meeting.
Next in line.
Looking to connect with Baylor alums in your area? Baylor alumni can help. Looking to host a watch party in your city? Baylor alumni can get you started. Want to step out in your community and serve with other alums? Baylor alumni is your connection with the university and each other. Let's get started. Learn how at baylor.edu/alumni.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip for the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedics specialist and move like you used to. Thanks to Baylor Scott and White, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Folks, join me in welcoming our second guest tonight, Coach Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis. Welcome to you. All right, you brought nothing like traveling with your own audience. That's nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
They make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, we will take questions from the audience, okay? Grant, where's Grant? Grant has the card, so if you guys, okay, good. This will be fun to get your questions
guys.
for Coach Woodson. Yeah, remember he's the ultimate with the questions there. But welcome to you. You opened the spring schedule last week in Arizona. Looks like some good results.
We've had a strong start to the year. Certainly excited to be back out there competing, and we've got so many new faces this year with a lot of hungry returners. So it's been a nice compilation of guys, and this is what you wait for all year to be able to play together in the spring, and was happy to get it going, and I think we've had some great success so far.
Good. What were some of the highlights in that 4-1 start?
I think just really getting to see these guys compete together is the thing that stands out the most to me. I feel like we have a fight and a competitiveness and a cohesiveness that was probably missing a little bit last year. So really, as a coach, you love to see that.
Yeah.
The level is there, and now it's just a matter of getting the experience, I think, together, feeling comfortable in the uniform, playing, alongside each other against the top teams in the country. So saw a lot of positives, and I think we've had enough pushback from the top teams that we've played to know where we're at, and excited to move forward.
Good. Do you have a feel for your team and their fight, like you said, or is this just sort of the first wave of that, and you'll learn more as the season goes on?
Yeah, I mean, we've fortunately been able to go on the road for the last couple of weeks and be tested by the nation's best right away. Guys that we're very familiar with, experienced rosters and lineups. So I think we're able to kind of tell right away. I think the really cool part about it makes our job as a staff hard, but the cool part about it is how much great depth we have. I mean, we have a really, really talented group of guys. We go 12 deep.
Wow.
Last year we had only 9, and we were banged up with injuries. So it's a really different look, even in practice like today when we spread out and compete. I mean, it's feisty in there, and the level's high, and so I think that's a really exciting thing. And now we just have to figure out, who plays where at what time. It's not easy, but it's a good problem to have as a coach.
Yeah. How much of a plus is that to have depth, have competition, guys pushing each other? I would think that'd be great.
It's so good for these guys. I mean, they come in, they want to maximize their abilities, they want to make it at the next level, and in order to do that, you have to have great practice partners. Every single day, you have to be pushed, and in order to do that, you've got to have enough guys that are ready to go and giving their best effort. And I really saw that today, actually. So not to get off topic, but I was really impressed by the competitiveness that they showed within the team, and that's just there's an intensity with which they go about things that I didn't see a lot of last year, and I think that hurts guys when they go into the biggest matches. And if you're seeing a higher level in practice every day, you're going to be ready when the match comes.
Good. You've got a couple of home matches this weekend. That'll be fun. Indoors on Saturday, Jacksonville State at 10 a.m., then Nebraska coming in at 6 p.m.
Yeah, we're really excited. Jacksonville State is coached by Trey Morris, who I've had the opportunity to mentor in the coach's mentor program, and so he's bringing his team in, and they're young and pretty talented. So I know that's going to be a stiff test for us, and then to be able to play a Nebraska team that's very old and experienced, I think has probably had their best year in many years coming. It's not going to be easy for our guys, but we're excited. I mean, that's the type of schedule we want to have, and with the roster size that we have, we need to get a lot of these guys involved. So I'm excited for Saturday. It's going to be a long day at the Hawkins, but it should be an exciting one.
Very cool. What does that mentoring of Trey Morris, what does that go back to?
So there's the ITA is the governing body of college tennis. They started a coach's mentor-mentee program where each year they have 15 mentors, and they select 15 people that apply to be paired, and you work through workshops together, and then you have kind of a constant dialogue throughout the year of what's going on in your programs. And I was paired up with him, and honestly, they did a great job. He was thrown into a coaching situation that was difficult at a young age, and I think that was something that was unique for me. I would be hard pressed to call myself a mentor at my age, but I had some experiences at that time, similar to him, that I think set me up to help him. And so they did a great job of finding the two of us, putting us together, and it's been really cool. That was 3 years ago, so to be able to go a long time and see him grow as a coach has been really special.
What a great program. Part of the mentoring means he can't come in here and win, right? I mean, he understands that. Is that right?
He is coming in here fully expecting to beat us.
Okay.
I can already tell.
You've trained him well.
Yes,
in that area,
for sure. He's very competitive.
Very cool. A couple of promotions that Colin tells us about. Jacksonville State, 10 a.m. is breakfast with the Bears, free coffee and donuts. 10 a.m. indoors in the Hawkins facility on Saturday. And then versus Nebraska, I'm really intrigued by this. Tennis ball-shaped lip balm giveaway.
I wish I could take credit for that.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it was Jackie's idea.
Okay, way to go,
our director
Jackie.
of ops. But they turned out really cool.
Yeah.
They look like a tennis ball. They've got BU tennis on them, and they the little circle ones that you take off. And
it's a lip balm.
Yeah, it's a lip balm, but I think it's pretty cool looking.
That's great.
Hopefully it plays well. We're trying to keep it interesting and new, and we just have so many loyal fans that we want to take good care of. So I'm excited to try these different promotions. I think we should have some good crowds.
I love it. That's great. All right, we'll continue with Coach Michael Woodson talking Baylor men's tennis after a break. Your questions from the audience. First Place Foods, Ask the Coach when we come back. Stay with us. Michael Woodson, our guest on the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's.
Have you gone gold yet? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor bookstore at the upcoming Go Gold dates.
Are y'all gone? Enjoy
to
the
stay
game.
up to date on
See
some
ya.
golden opportunities, visit BaylorBears.com/GoGold. Go Gold and sick 'em Bears.
TFNB, your bank for life, is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier.
Should I let him look at
TFNB,
it?
Yeah, because that would have
Member
that
FDIC.
one caught me off guard.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed: smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Continuing live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco, our Baylor Coaches Show tonight, visiting with Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. And thanks again to everyone that is here and everyone tuned in this evening. All right, Coach, this is the First Place Foods Ask the Coach. First Place Foods, that's a darn good pickle. These are questions from the audience. You ready for these?
I'm ready.
All right, very good. First one is from Armand. Who's that? Yes, right there. Okay. What is your favorite school to play? Hey, I like it.
That's a great question. I mean, I have a lot.
Right.
It's really tough to pick between Texas and TCU, but since Texas is, wimping out and going to the SEC, I'm going to pick TCU. I mean, that's probably our biggest rival. We have a lot of fun matches and great memories with them, so TCU, I think.
That's what I would have guessed. If I would have guessed, I would have thought those two or one of those two.
Yes.
Good question. Question here, what excites you the most about this season?
I just love the opportunity to line up alongside the guys and go to battle with them. It's so much fun to see them out there, all their hard work, all the dedication, the hours that they put in on and off the court, to be able to go out there and test themselves against the best in the country and to be alongside them, helping in every way that I can, is really exciting for me. I think this team has a ton to prove, and I think they know that. They have a lot of confidence in themselves, and so I'm really excited to see what they can accomplish together.
Very good. That sounds great. Next question from the audience. What team do you look most forward to beating this season? Kind of falls in line with the TCU Texas, right?
I'm going to answer that with two. One, Ohio State at home for sure. I'm really looking forward to beating them.
When is that? How soon does that come up?
February 28th.
Nice. Very good.
So really looking forward to that. And the second one is we've had it circled on our calendar that we're going to beat Texas on Senior Day at their place. So I'm really excited for that one because they've got about 7 seniors, and we're going to put a little dampener on that day.
Rain on the Senior Day parade.
Yeah,
that is great. All right, very good. Here's a question from, is this Luke? What improvements does your team need to make the rest of the year?
I think we naturally need to gain more experience together and get more comfortable understanding, each guy's role and feeling comfortable and confident in it. But I think, just spending a little bit more time specifically in doubles, understanding their game styles and how to have success, not as a doubles player necessarily, but in a dual match setting where it's very fast, it's very short, and it's high energy. I think that's something that we have some room for improvement on.
Good. How set is your lineup? I know there's always competition, but
definitely some competition, and I think we've tried some different things, and I like what I see from a lot of the guys, and it's just a matter of finding the right chemistry and really understanding what their favorite plays are and being able to run them under pressure consistently.
Wow, very good. All right, here's a question. Who's this from?
Luke.
Okay,
right
another
there.
Luke. This Luke right here.
Yes.
He says, your favorite song after the team wins a match?
Yeah, I'm not going to take that bait, Luke, but I will say, actually my favorite one is probably My House by Flo Rida. I really enjoy listening to that with the guys, and I mean, it's just fun to be a part of that. They're super excited after matches, and I love to feed off of that energy.
What was he trying to lead you down the path toward?
They have some music that they like to listen to. I really don't even know what I don't. It's not a genre I'm familiar with.
Yeah. All right, very good. Good questions. Thank you all very much. Great questions from the audience. Let's talk about your schedule. You mentioned Ohio State coming in. That is really big when we get into Big 12. The newcomers, you'll play UCF at home and BYU on the road. What do these new schools bring to the league in men's tennis?
Yeah, two historically strong programs. I would say, especially over the last few years, Central Florida has been dominant in in the American Conference, and so they've got a little bit of a younger team, but a very talented team that they're going to be bringing in, and a new head coach. I think there's a lot of excitement around that program, and so that's not going to be an easy match. But we're excited to have them as part of the conference. I think they fit in well with the culture, and then BYU is, I would say probably not on the stronger side of teams coming in, but maybe the hardest place to play in the country. It's indoors most of the year. There's a lot of altitude, which makes it difficult to play. And they have 4 courts, and they draw about 500 people in that small little facility.
Really?
And so it's going to be a feisty environment. And just the way that the schedule works out for us, we have to play Texas Tech at home on a Thursday night, and we play BYU on a Saturday afternoon in Provo. So it's not going to be easy for these guys, but we'll do our best to get them ready.
4 courts, that's it?
That's it. Yeah, it's not. It's a different. It's a different experience for the guys.
And then you tell me the Big 12s and the NCAAs are in Stillwater this year.
Yes. So before we get to host it, in Waco, we have the opportunity to go see what it's like up in Stillwater. I do think it's an advantage for us to be able to go there and play our match against Oklahoma State on the road in Stillwater, but then also to have the opportunity to play the Big 12 tournament there. It just prepares our guys and all the Big 12 members for an opportunity when it comes to NCAAs. We need to use that advantage as much as we can, and so that's something that our coaches have decided on, and I think it really pays off.
Good. And help me remember, is it this fall coming up, fall of 24 or 25, when you host that new fall?
November 19th through the 24th, we'll be hosting the first ever NCAA individuals in the fall here in Waco. That's this year, so a few months away. And then the team event will be in May of 2025.
Right. Here. That is so cool. And we've talked about it before, but you really like that, don't you?
I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to do it here first, and put our best foot forward for college tennis, but also just to put a spotlight on our incredible facilities and, what a great job we do as an athletic department. I think if anybody's going to host it for the first time, it should be us.
Cool. Was it 2015 we hosted the NCAA Outdoors? Great event, and I think Baylor responded and did a great job hosting.
We have an incredible fan base. We have a very dedicated staff. I mean, like I said, our department is second to none. So, for us, I think we'll be able to get a lot of excitement around both events. And we host the Big 12 tournament, too, in April. So there's going to be a lot of great tennis here in Waco over the 24-25 season. And I know our guys are ready for it, but we want to do a great job as hosts as well. So
that is great.
Should be fun.
All right, very good. Take a break. Back with more with Coach Michael Woodson talking Baylor men's tennis. Back live from Rudy's right after this.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it.
All right, John, I'm going to see if you can hear Bob.
Own hours.
Look at that sunrise.
You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
Whoa, that view. It's amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper. Hey, get a picture. No one's going to believe it.
I'm not hearing anything from him.
Stars and dreaming about all.
I'll keep trying during this break.
You know what? I'm catching a bigger fish tomorrow.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. This Texan knows how to sick 'em. Toyota is a proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com to check out the rugged Tundra today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability.
For a limited time, get high-performance, ultra-reliable internet from Astound Broadband, starting as low as $25 per month. And now we have mobile, too. Visit Astound.com to order the #1 rated internet. Create the perfect plan with fast speeds to meet all your needs, plus get a 2-year price lock when you upgrade to award-winning gig internet. No contracts, no hidden monthly fees, and no...
Okay, John, can you hear Bob counting?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Restrictions apply. See website for details.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you got to feed.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Sides and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call an order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And welcome back live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Our Baylor Coaches Show tonight, continuing with Coach Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. And weather-wise, you don't know what you're going to get this time of year, right? You're going to play indoors in the Hawkins on Saturday. Thank the Lord for that great facility. But, gosh, this week, I'm sure y'all have taken advantage of being outside some this week.
We have a little bit. It's a difficult balance because we know we're playing inside on Saturday.
That's true.
That's what we'd agreed to. So we're spending some time indoors, but they went outside on Tuesday.
Okay.
To get a little bit of a taste of it. If we do our fitness and stuff, we'll go outside and enjoy the weather.
I got you.
Want to make sure that they're ready.
Yeah. And don't we have such great facilities? I mean, I think about it. We talk about hosting the NCAAs. You've got to have the kind of facilities that Baylor has to be able to be in the mix to host.
Yeah, when you're talking about trying to compete with the best in the country, you have to have the standard there. I mean, we talk a lot about how it really is the people, but when you're trying to build those relationships with recruits and when you're really selling this vision that you want to develop these guys to be the best that they can be on and off the court, well, you have to be able to show them great facilities, and it makes a huge difference. And I think the biggest thing that gets missed, we talk about how beautiful the stadiums are and how amazing the indoor facility, the locker rooms and everything, but I think one of the biggest things for these guys is just how efficient you want it to be so that they can excel in the classroom and on the court. You don't want to have practice scheduled at 3 p.m., but it's windy or it's raining or it's cold, and you have to go drive 30 minutes somewhere else, or you have to adjust the time because there's kids programming or lessons being taught on the courts. I mean, these are things that we are spoiled. These guys, if practice is at 2, it's at 2. If fitness is supposed to be at 4, they're going to do it at 4 o'clock. And I think that in order for these guys to make sure that they can truly be student athletes, we have to be able to provide them that type of efficiency and professionalism. And when we ask so much out of them, the least that we can do is deliver on that side.
Wow, that's very well said. Are there still conversations or at least thoughts about trying to expand the Hawkins indoor just so we can get more people in there? I mean, I know we fill that up a lot of times.
We do, and I'm hopeful Saturday night will be one of those times where people get turned away at the door. It's unfortunate, but it's a good problem to have. I know we're going to have some matches here over the next few weeks that will be that way. We've had conversations.
Right.
Which wall do you knock out? Where can you put seating? I think it becomes pretty expensive when you get to deep into those conversations. But I think if our guys can continue to put such a great product out there and I mean have such an amazing fan base, I think it's going to be a conversation we're going to have to continue to explore.
Nice problem to have.
It is.
It's not a problem at all. All right, Jacksonville State and Nebraska this Saturday here in Waco. Look beyond that. What comes up after that?
Yeah, after that, we have a week off, and we'll play Tulsa at home on Super Bowl Sunday at noon. We'll get that match in. Everybody can come, and then you guys can go watch the Super Bowl together and celebrate a Baylor win. And then Monday night, we have Southern Cal coming into town. 6 p.m. That's they're a top 6 or 7 team in the country, highly touted group over there, and so I know our guys are super excited about that match. Interestingly enough, I think some of the best crowds we've ever had have been Monday night crowds, and so I'm really excited to have that match. I think we've got some great promotions that our incredible marketing and fan engagement staff have put together leading up to Valentine's Day, and so I think it should be a lot of fun. And then we'll add a couple of matches there in the coming weeks, and then the following on the 25th, my birthday, we have 2 matches. I don't know why I do that to myself,
Happy
but
birthday.
I do, and we are playing SMU, which they're a great team, that I think are building up strongly to get ready for the ACC, and then UTRGV, and then the one I talked about earlier, we host Ohio State on the 28th, Wednesday night, the 28th. So a really busy month where we don't have to travel. So I know the guys are super excited about that, and they love playing at home. So we got quite a slate.
Does it sound strange to say SMU gearing up for the ACC?
It sounds really weird, yeah.
It does to me.
But, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting for them, and I think an exciting opportunity. and it's going to build the competition in our area, which is never a bad thing.
Yeah, very good. All right, well, continued success. Seems like you're off to a great start here in the spring, and we'll have you back a little later in the spring here at Rudy's and get an update at that point. But thanks to your guys for being here tonight. Guys, we appreciate it very much. Enjoy that barbecue and whatever else you've eaten, consumed here tonight. Good, lively group, as you've said.
Always.
And we appreciate that. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, having me.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach, with us. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up live from Rudy's right after this.
Join us February 22nd at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco for our next Lunch with a Legend, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach. Our special guest will be former Baylor and Texas Rangers pitcher Sean Tollison. It's Thursday, February 22nd, beginning at 11:30 a.m. at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. And tickets are available by calling 254-710-8300. Presented by Baylor Alumni.
Okay. John, can you hear the music from the game?
Tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you got to pick.
John, can you hear the music coming from the game?
Well, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll beat all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you...
Are you hearing that? Did you hear him count? Okay, I think we got it fixed.
Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG.
The close is 1:03, John.
Care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care.
Yeah.
4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
All right, that'll work. The network police won't get upset if you miss it a few seconds.
Sports app allows fans to track their attendance across athletic events and earn rewards. Baylor Athletics wants to reward the most loyal fans, so register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com or download the Baylor Sports app straight to your phone. Prizes this year are better than ever, so start earning your points today. And sick 'em Bears.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And back with just enough time to wrap things up on tonight's Baylor Coaches Show. We appreciate Coach Glenn Moore being on with us. Baylor softball, they open the season 8 days from today, a 3-game series against Tennessee at Getterman Stadium, February 9th, 10th, and 11th, and looking forward to that. The season opener, such an exciting time, the dawn of a new season. Thanks to Coach Moore for being here, and thanks to Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach, for being with us tonight. And their season is underway, continuing with a couple of home matches this Saturday, 10 a.m. against Jacksonville State. That is breakfast with the Bears, free coffee and donuts as long as they last, and then 6 p.m. versus Nebraska with the always popular tennis ball-shaped lip balm giveaway coming up on Saturday at 6 for Baylor versus Nebraska men's tennis, and both of those matches will be indoors at the Hawkins Indoor Facility. A couple of upcoming events to remind you about. Baylor women's basketball will play in about 30 minutes from right now, maybe 35 minutes. They'll tip it off, the Baylor women, number 13 in the nation, and they are hosting number 12 Texas tonight in Foster Pavilion. Should be a great atmosphere for that one tonight, and we look forward to that. Good luck to Nikki Collin and the Baylor women as they play UT for the final scheduled time as Big 12 opponents here in Waco tonight. And then Coach Scott Drew and the Bears in action coming up on Saturday evening, 7 o'clock in Foster Pavilion, hosting Iowa State. Just another top 25 matchup in the Big 12 in men's basketball. Thanks to you for being with us tonight. Thanks to our host here at Rudy's. Nick, thank you very much. And everyone at Rudy's, thanks for being with us. We'll be back next Thursday with the Baylor Coaches Show.